There's no, so you need to address how far today and are you?
And the territories where these ones are, they are much more marginal, smaller compared to the presidential one. So in terms of logistics, in terms of processing of the results, create point we've been making about the need for us to eschew violence in political contestation. And it reminds us of the absence of understanding, the lack of appreciation of the philosophy behind elections. Election can be lacking in democracies that we sometimes want to refer to. So many times you even see that they have reasons to dispute elections, but the system discourages them, and they just move on quickly by congratulating the declared winner. You know, we have had it happen in 2015 here, and we would have thought by now that our candidate must. There are still people who are perverting the process. There are still people who are hell bent on rigging elections. People who think that they just have to win, and if it's not going to happen peacefully, if it's not going to happen genuinely, they are to
example, if somebody is a quality of the act gives you the power to apply immediate penalty there, so that justice delay will not be seen as justice denied. So the same thing if the police are overpowered, because I really pity the Nigerian police. Their number, if you take it carefully, about 400,000 policemen vis-a-vis 200 million Nigerians. Out of these 400,000, about half of them have been deployed to Mr. 17. Of few hours to election, you will see them withdrawing. They will say, I align myself to so candidate. I align myself to so candidate. This evolution of shadow political parties is the genesis of it. I call them shadow political parties.
This shadow is your quote.
Yes.
I need to write it down.
Yes, these shadow political parties that you have is the genesis of it. Even though Section 200 and extended it to
political party. United States is also very complicated. You know, multiple kinds of system. Yes, we have two major political parties, but there are so many other interest groups, and these interest groups are.
And they also give room for independent
candidacy. So the
political parties, they are the seeds that germinate into a very serious bush of political kingdom. The number one thing we should try as much as possible is to nurture political parties as vehicle instruments for the development of democracy, first of all. And for us to do that, we have to really think of it along a
the special grace of God.
I just advise everyone to take it easy, be calm. It's a game.
No violence. When we embrace peace, all of us will enjoy. We will enjoy the dividends of democracy. This is
actually serious, even if they were not. There will be much more tension. You expect that the contest, the race will be much more vociferous, and you want to advise the security agencies to pay attention to those states. And it's also interesting. It's easy to confirm as well that they've mentioned those states have shown signs in the past that they are prone to violence. They are prone to upheavals. You know, so it's an attraction for security attention, really, so that we can have peace at the end. At the end of the day, we can come out better for it.
It is easy to confuse the elections we are going into this weekend. I mean, one would have almost confused the Imo situation as if it's the presidential pause itself. With 70 guys coming out to beat, you know.
Parties standing.
440 square kilometers, roughly 1/3 of which is either swamp or waterlogged or both. Delta has a unique tropical climate that enables it simultaneously serve the best of rainy and with far north.
To be rational, you're expecting and celebrate democracy, you know, and if you are doing that, which means that you avoid violence, you avoid anything that will hurt the other person or anything that can hurt the process, including matches and
Teaching of time within which results should now be submitted from what one stage or the other, and should be able to, be expeditious in announcement. Media
promote the agenda.
We are seeing, because there is nothing like I don't like education and agencies rush and tame the situation before it escalates.
All right.
And then you can to mobilize people to
in the state. Crops such as peanuts, cotton, sorghum, and maize are among the major produce. Other economic activities include livestock rearing. Most of its people own cattle, sheep, goats, and hide skin trade has a historic tradition in the region. Put Katsina's most Guber in far north and the southern part of Nigeria. This strategic location made Funtua to become like a magnet for diverse people from all over Nigeria to come and settle and made Funtua their home.
Thank you, Jennifer. In spite of the fact that the allegation was not true, just keep your eye on some of those ballot boxes. Let's come back to your, you were making a point before.
Yeah, I was talking about the election period being a time for bonding, for a time for eating of joy, that we've been consistent at it, and all hopes are high.
Abolish all forms of corrupt practices and abuse of power. So here, it is a collective responsibility, even though President Buhari said that he wants to fight corruption, he wants to entrench a robust economy, he wants to fight insecurity. All these have been there since 1999, because Section 15 of Section 5 that says it is a mandatory
ballot.
You know, without prejudice, the president got the second highest votes all over the country from Katsina State, about 1.25 million votes he got from the state. So going by that number, and the Katsina Central has the bulk of
and that they make sure that they are the ones who, employ, so to speak, the leaders that will be ruling them for the next.
As soon is the time you get